Hey Damien here for Automotive Superstore. If you've been shopping for a floating 9-inch screen recently, you've probably checked out Pioneer's DMH ZF7650BT. It's very popular. I've even got one in my own van. But what if I told you that this unit here from JVC, the brand new KW-Z900W, not only exceeds the Pioneer for performance, but its RRP is significantly less. That makes it definitely worth checking out. Let's jump in. So let's kick off with a comparison between the features of the Pioneer and the JVC, because this is everyone's kind of go-to in that price point to show you really where this one stands in the marketplace. And the first thing to know, the recommended retail price of the JVC is $176 lower than the Pioneer. So keep that in mind when you're comparing these two for their features. Notwithstanding that at any given time we're going to have one or both of these on special, but I can only really compare at RRP for these types of videos. So first of all, CarPlay and Android Auto, both wired and wireless. Yep, they both do that. Okay. iDataLink Maestro is supported by both of these units as well if you need the ability for your car system to provide dials and aircon control and stuff like that from the screens. They can both be integrated into these units. Internal powered channels for these, 22 watts RMS by 4 on both of those, that's fine. They also both do dual phone Bluetooth. So that's handy if you're a tradesperson or you're a business person, you need to carry 2 phones in the car. The signal processing on both of these is virtually identical and both excellent. So you have, first of all, a choice of 2-way or 3-way crossover networks. What that means is you can have a high pass filter for your fronts, high pass filter for your rears, and a low pass filter for the subwoofer, if you have one. Or if you want to be more advanced than that, you can have a high pass filter just for tweeters, a band pass filter for your mid-range drivers, and a low pass filter for your subwoofer. That's a great way of improving the sound quality in your car. Both of these units offer that feature. It's not offered by every unit. The filter frequencies and cutoff slopes offered by these, there are some slight differences, but generally they're both kind of the same, and they'll both do an excellent job and get excellent sound quality results for you no matter which one you choose. Also, 13-band graphic EQ on both of these. You've got preset memories on both of these, obviously, and besides that, they've both got 6-channel time correction. So from a standpoint of signal processing, they match, and that's really important. Let's talk about where they differ. So first of all, screen resolution. Pioneer, 1024 by 600 pixels. The JVC, 1280 by 720, that's true high def, and that's actually kind of important. The larger the screen gets, the more it matters for pixel density, and that's a real boon for the JVC. Next to that one, smartphone mirroring, if you want to use that feature. It's capable in both of these. It's USB connection only to do that with the Pioneer. You can do it via USB or wireless on the JVC. That might be a handy thing for you. The camera inputs, it's just rear for the Pioneer. The JVC has front and rear. The front can be switched to an AV input if you prefer, and the rear can support HD cameras up to 720 pixels. So that's kind of cool. USB charging, 1.5 amps for the Pioneer, 2.1 for the JVC. The one thing the Pioneer does have over the JVC is the button illumination on the front there. You can do any color you like on that one to match your dashboard. On the JVC, it's any color you like as long as that color is blue. So you can see there the comparison between this unit and the ever popular Pioneer. The JVC tends to come out on top in a lot of categories. Not only that, it's got HDMI input that the Pioneer doesn't have, and its RCA pre-outs are 3 volts versus the Pioneer's 2 volts. Anyway, if that doesn't convince you that it's not worthwhile to look at, I don't know what will. What comes in the box with the unit itself, you get a GPS antenna. That's actually for the wireless CarPlay setup. Your Bluetooth microphone, obviously. It comes with an additional plug-in to 3-wire remote control for the steering wheel control. A warranty card, you can download the full manual online, some screws and whatnot. The other thing worth noting on this one is the main power limb for this goes from the JVC connector straight to ISO, and that might save you some dollars if you've got a plug and play arrangement with your specific vehicle, because it saves you buying a JVC to ISO cable adapter. That's kind of nice for them to do that. Now, of course, I tested it with my high-resolution music files. It's not high-res certified, but happily played back all of my test files up to my highest resolution, which was 96 kilohertz at 24-bit. That's nice to know. And also, of course, because it's a 1280 by 720 screen, the 1080p videos looked fantastic. Of course, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard features on these. You're very familiar with how these work. But to come back to the main menu, just hit the JVC button from either of those types of formats. On the main screen, it's pretty straightforward here. Android Auto, CarPlay, and then your tile menu screen here. You can choose your other sources. Here's also access to your iDataLink Maestro connections. Hit the gear icon. That takes us to the settings menu for setting up things like your Bluetooth dual phone setup. Display gives you a few wallpapers. You can upload one yourself via a USB drive if you like. Also, the main screen has a choice of the full clock display or album artwork. Coming down, you've got some adjustments for the screen, turn demo mode on or off. Driving position left or right to do with some of the on-screen displays. Here, your camera control, parking guidelines you can set up. We also have the selection here to set the front camera input for AV or for camera. And here you can select the mirroring control for your phone as well. Let's go into the signal processing and have a look. First of all is the crossover. What I really love about the JVC units is they have a simple mode. So if you don't know how crossovers work in any way, shape or form, it's a great way to start. Start by selecting the type of car. And here you can say, well, okay, I've got anywhere from 8cm through to 16cm diameter speaker, and that will set a guideline filter frequency for you. You can also adjust the position for that speaker, and that may change the results. Here, if you hit tweeter, you can select small, medium, or large. And that way, when you adjust tweeter gain, what it does is it has a shelving attenuation, and so you can adjust the treble level compared to that of the mid-range as if you had this control in, say, a passive crossover network. This is a really great function that I like from this unit. Alternatively, you can go in and set the high-pass filter frequency yourself here in two-way mode. It can go up to as high as 250 Hz, and your slope can vary from 6 dB per octave to 24 dB per octave in steepness. And 24 is ample for any application. The subwoofer low pass is also variable from 6 to 24 dB per octave. You can also set the relative gain level and the low pass filter frequency. Alternatively, if you like the simple mode, you can go in and you can adjust it by selecting the diameter of the subwoofer, and the system will set what it thinks is going to be an appropriate filter slope for you if you don't really know how to work those frequencies out. Into EQ, it's a 13-band graphic EQ. It's nice and easy. You've got these sliders here. You just pick a frequency and adjust up and down. There are a bunch of preset EQ curves in here you can play around with, and you've got some user memories you can store. If we swipe down here, we've got bass extension we can turn on and off, and we've got subwoofer level control compared to the other main outputs. Position DTA, that's your time correction. So it's got presets for you, so front, left and right, or all. Or if you prefer, you can go in and adjust the time arrival and the intensity level of each speaker in the system yourself. It's got your traditional fader and balance. In volume offset for all of the audio sources, you can adjust their relative output levels to each other. So when you change from different sources to other sources, there's not a massive variance in volume level. And here you can adjust the audio volume level to things like guidance. Next up is sound effect. You've got bass boost in adjustment from 1, 2 to 3. You've got loudness, low or high, your beep tone off, and you can turn off the internal amplifier. And then finally, there are some memories that you can set up, and you can set a different one for a different source, for example, and that's a nice way to be able to memorize everything. And so that is JVC's KW-Z900W 9-inch floating screen. For value for money, it's pretty hard to beat if you're in the market for one of these types of units, especially one with this many fantastic features. If you want to grab one, there'll be a link down below. Way down there, like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you next time.